it took me a little bit to calm down because, in all honesty, I was pretty angry. There's really no way to talk about this without going into too long, without going into too many details either. But long story short here, I went to this men's group for the last time. I'm done. I am tired of it. I do not see the point of meeting up. I'm looking for a place to pull off here for a few minutes, so hang on. I do not see the point and purpose of getting together with others when there is no room for you. In this case, me. There's just no room for communication, for dialogue. No one is willing to listen, and I get that. I really do. But there is a problem here that I have taken steps to try to address and to point out. And it's just being ignored at this point. Because as soon as I was done talking and asking questions, the person who was in charge just moved right on. He just didn't even pause, didn't even stop, he just moved right on. And so I was just like, alright, I'm done. Because this is a group where there's supposed to be others who I can talk to, where we can communicate. And this was very valid about the point, about the message, which was actually about ministry. Ministry has to change. The technology itself is changing. The people that went to church, the people who used to live 60 years ago, they're very different than the people of today with this generation. That's a fact. So technology and the people and the times, and there is so much else that has changed that it's like there's a disconnect between the older and the younger generation. And I try repeatedly to point this out time and time again. And I've had some success, and there was some good conversations. But as of now, it feels like I've hit a wall, and for the umpteenth time. But that's it, I'm done. These are supposed to be older, respected men, elders of this church. And to be honest, there are some that I'm actually on good relations with. Good friends. Friendship that has taken a little bit of time to develop. Last year, for 2020, the coronavirus actually did mess up quite a bit. And back in 2019, I was able to meet up with most of these guys, and we've had some very good conversations in the past. However, what I have noticed is that I am a bit of an odd one outside of the group here, because I present both. This is from my own perspective here. I'm going to turn it around. See if I can. Nope, can't do it. I'll have to stop the recording and turn around. Alright, hang on. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, won't turn around this time, sorry. But, look, what I was trying to say is I'm a bit of an odd one as far as presenting new challenges, new difficulties, new situations that these older men have not experienced or have gone through. Most of these men are married, have children, and even having grandchildren. They are established within their own circles, which I believe is within the church as well as the community. Me, I'm a younger man. I just turned 35 earlier this month, and I have been here for a couple of years now, like 4 years, I think. Just over 4 years in this part of North Carolina. So I've tried, and I've spent time working, trying to find a good church, trying to find older men who I can talk to and hopefully learn something from. And to be honest, the style of teaching has not changed. And I'm talking about compared now to 10 to 20, and in some cases 30 years ago. the same style has actually not changed for me. That itself is not a bad thing. But the problem is, when things do not change and the problems do, there are no tools that are there to help you deal with the new problems. And with many of the younger generation, I cannot specify one sex over the other, but there are many tools that are missing. A lot of these tools are tied to the older generation being phased out, retiring, passing away, passing on, focusing on their family, moving. And so there is a growing gap between the older and the younger generation, and the tools are not being passed down as they were 40 to 50 years ago, even when I was growing up 30 years ago. I mean, I'm a very different person than who I was 30 and 20 years ago, sure. The landscape, as far as society and culture, I want to say it roughly started changing around 15 years ago. I want to say probably around 2005 with the changes in the markets, and specifically with housing. Beyond that, I cannot say because I'm not really sure, and I wasn't really old enough to remember. Like, I didn't follow it at that point in time in my life. I focused on school, I focused on trying to make friends and stuff like that, which most every other kid has focused on. But these problems, if the people aren't changing, if the tools aren't being passed on, there are some real problems here. And this goes well beyond outside the church into every day and those who you come in contact with. You know, this isn't just simply church related. Tools should be passed on, and they're not. So maybe this church is a lost cause, I don't know. Maybe it's just these men. Maybe they have other things going on, and I know that for a fact with some of these. With some having moved, with someone who passed away recently, and I don't remember who. Yeah. Anyway. It's just really frustrating just to put time and effort into this. Basically treat it like an investment and having it fail. I'm not used to, I am not like, it's not that I'm not familiar with failure. It's not that it's not unexpected. It's just that when it happens, it's very disappointing, and I have to start over. I have to look for another church, other group to plug into. You know, you should not be by yourself. And living by yourself is one thing. Being alone with yourself, a part of society, some people can handle. Me, I actually need other people to communicate with, to dialogue, to talk. I basically need other people in my life, even if it's not as much as some others. I just do not want to be alone. I need to have some contact with others. Anyway, until next time.